Hello everyone, welcome in today as Florida's taking on LSU at the Swamp. We're in swampy conditions. As you can see, it is pouring down there on the field today. LSU comes in as a better overall team than Florida, however, their record's worse. They sit at 2-3, and Florida comes in following that embarrassing defeat to La Tech. They finally get ranked, and then they laid an egg against Louisiana Tech. At least this time the Gators are at home, and hopefully they can rebound against LSU. This one's underway as Kimber returns that for 26 yards. The Gators are going to take over, and this week they're without starting quarterback Jack Garola as he is still dealing with that injury he sustained against La Tech. His back is going to keep him out, it says, for 1 week. Hopefully, if we're lucky, we'll get him back next week, but we don't know. So it's going to be senior quarterback Kyle Engel starting for the Gators today. We'll see how he does. He's played in relief for us so far this season, and he's been solid when he's played. He has just enough mobility to be able to run it on the ground like we did here to pick up 9 yards, but he doesn't have quite the arm of Jack Garola, so we'll see what he can do for us. But it won't be on this drive as Montrell Johnson got stopped on third down. So we punt the ball back to LSU, and Nussmeier pitches it out there to receiver Ibita, and that's going to be a first down and a big play as he is out to the 48-yard line. That's sophomore receiver Landon Ibita with the huge play there as Nussmeier's going to hand it to Pittman on first down, and Wilson comes down and takes him down for a 1-yard loss. That's a big play from Kamari Wilson. Nussmeier hands it off the right. That's 3 different people carrying the ball to begin this game, and it's now 3rd and 10 for LSU, and Nussmeier's looking to pass it. He's moving around in the pocket, steps to the left, and finds Hilton Jr. However, he had to come back for that, so that's not a first down. That's going to end up being a 4th and 3 for LSU and Garrett Nussmeier. That they go for it, and Nussmeier pulls it and will not get that first down. The Gators came up with a huge stop on defense right there. So Kyle Engel and the offense take over. Montrell Johnson gets another carry. That one only goes for 2 yards though. So on 2nd down, Engel's looking to pass it. He's standing in the pocket and finds Xavier Henderson for a 9-yard pickup, getting us a fresh set of downs, and Engel again is going to pass it on first down, and he finds Emmanuel Henderson this time for another first down. We're again looking to pass it here on first down, and Engel finds Xavier Henderson this time. He's down to the 20-yard line. That's a big 16-yard pickup. The offense is moving the ball well on this drive, and then we go to Montrell Johnson on the ground, and he picks up 7 before he gets laid out on that play. Engel's looking to pass it here, standing in the pocket, and that's a touchdown to Harrison Walsh, the 3rd for 12 yards. What a big play right there. Gators are going to take a 7-0 lead in this game. Let's see if LSU can answer as Pittman gets a carry to begin this drive, and that one goes for negative yards as Derek Wingo made an excellent play on the ball. 2nd and long now, Nussmeier hands it to Pittman, and he again goes backwards, losing 3 yards on that play. That's a 3rd and 15, and LSU just decides to run a draw. They gave up on this drive. Terrell Wright had nowhere to go and ends up losing 2, and they punt it back to the Gators. Montrell Johnson gets another carry here, and he again has nowhere to go. LSU's defense has shut down our running game. Trevor Etienne steps into the game though, and that's a pretty good play for 9 yards on his first play of the game. Engel looking to pass on this 3rd and 2, and he finds Xavier Henderson for a first down and more. He is down to about the 26-yard line. Gators are having a ton of success passing the ball today. They really need to work on this ground attack, but through the air, they've been excellent as Malik Mega makes a big catch for 24. He's all the way down to the 3-yard line, and Kyle Engel pulls it on this 1st and goal, and that goes nowhere. He ends up losing 3 as the first quarter comes to an end. Gators are just about to get into the end zone again. However, the score remains 7-0 here as the defenses have played pretty well today. The Gators are finally finding LSU's weakness, and that's through the air, so we'll have to see if they can capitalize on that going forward. Noah Keeter brings us down to about the 1-yard line, so we send David Hester in motion over to the right on 3rd and goal, and we go to Etienne, who gets blown up at the 1-yard line, so we decide to go for it. Coach KJ calls a read option, and Kyle Engel walks into the end zone. That should have been a late hit in the end zone. There was no reason to hit him there. However, Gators take a 14-0 lead. Let's see if Garrett Nussmeier and Coach Brian Kelly can answer for LSU. That's a good play on first down as they pick up 6 yards. So on 2nd down, they hand it off again, and it's not going anywhere. When are they going to learn they can't run the ball? Powell Ryland making the play there as Nussmeier looks to pass it, and that's Malik Neighbors making the reception. However, that's not a first down, so they were forced to punt it back to the Florida Gators, and Trevor Etienne takes that carry up the middle for 8 yards. That's one of our better running plays on the day. Engel looking to pass it here on 2nd down, and that's almost intercepted going to Trevor Etienne. Luckily for us, that one was dropped. So it's 3rd and 2, and Etienne does get the carry, and I don't like the route he took. If he goes straight ahead, that's a first down. However, we're forced to punt it back, and let's see if Garrett Nussmeier can answer. His first down didn't go his way. That's his first incompletion on the day. As well, they send a guy in motion here on 2nd second down, and Nussmeier pitches it on the speed option. Pittman gets the carry, and he does not go anywhere. That's only a 2-yard pickup. They're leaning on the ground. It's just not working for him as they throw a screen to Pittman, and look at this play by big Desmond Watson. He runs all the way from the center of the field at 400 pounds and makes that play, forcing LSU to punt it back to the Gators. What a play, though. You got to give the credit to Desmond Watson on that play. That was a big one. Second down here, Etienne gets the carry, and he picks up probably 4 yards. That helps our third down situation as we run the pistol formation, and Angle throws it deep as he gets hit, and that's Henderson coming down with it. Xavier Henderson goes for 31 yards on that big play. Kyle Angle was able to muscle it out there even though he got hit just as he released it. However, he follows that great play up with a dumb interception on the next one. LSU's going to take over and possibly get back in this game. That's Cameron Smith. I don't like that decision by Kyle Angle. A little bit of it was a bad pass, though. If you look at it, the ball was a little bit behind his receiver. As Pittman takes that carry for 8 yards for LSU to begin this drive. Nussmeier's looking to pass now on second down, and that's going to be Ibeta making the catch, and he does not get anywhere on that play. Our defense rallied and took him down, bringing up a third down for LSU. And a screen this time to right, and that will work. That's going to be a first down and more all the way down to like the 34-yard line where he fumbled the ball, but it went out of bounds, luckily for them. In the gun is Garrett Nussmeier, and he's going to hand it this time again to right, and Mitchell comes down and hits him. That's going to be a short 3-yard pickup, and our defense did a great job stringing that one out all the way towards the sideline. So on second down, they pass it, and it's Malik Neighbors who catches it, and that's going to get LSU a first down. That's a solid 8-yard pickup. So they decide, let's pass it again on first down, and they find Chris Hilton Jr. That's going to end up being a 9-yard reception, setting up a 2nd and 1 for LSU, and they run it. This time it's Pittman again getting the carry, and that's a 1st and goal now. He's down all the way to about the 5-yard line after they pick up 9 yards. I don't know why they called a timeout there. That doesn't make sense to me, but Nussmeier's looking to pass it on 1st and goal and ends up going down. That's a big play right there by Justice Boone. Pittman gets the carry on 2nd and goal, and into the end zone he goes. LSU finally answers today. It's going to be a 14-7 ball game. However, Florida's going to be given the opportunity to try to score again as we get ready to head towards halftime. Angle looking to pass it, gets hit just as he releases that one, thankfully. So on 2nd and 10, we're in the pistol. Angle looking to throw it. He's scrambling out to the right. There's nobody open. However, he's able to run and pick up the first down and more. He's out all the way to the 39-yard line. Now they either going to call a timeout or rush to the line of scrimmage, and it looks like Coach KJ calls timeout. So Angle's going to pass it on next play, and he takes a sack. That's a big mistake right there and might cost the Gators points. Angle looking to pass it here on 2nd down, and he finds Malik Mega, who gets that back and more. They're out to just about midfield area. Now we have a chance to get points again as Angle's looking to pass, and he goes up over the top to Henderson. However, that one gets broken up, so it's 2nd and 10. That's a good play. So we are passing as you'd expect, but Angle takes another sack. That's a mistake you can't make in that situation, so we're down to 19 seconds left in this half, and he's moving around, and then he just throws a wild wonky pass that we're lucky didn't get intercepted to end the first half. So Gators going to halftime leading this game 14-7. You gotta say Kyle Angle's played pretty well considering this is his first start and probably the only start of his college career, honestly. He's been okay, and he's commanded an offense that's been pretty effective with 182 yards and 144 of that's passing, so you gotta be impressed with what Kyle Angle's been able to do so far. Now he does have that one interception, but that seems to always be a theme of my offense as I struggle to not turn the ball over, so I gotta learn to stop throwing so many picks. Hopefully I can improve that with him, and also Jack Garola, because we've had a lot of turnovers. Now we're going to take a look at some recruiting news from around the dynasty. Now, as you all should remember, we list the top 3. I don't tell you where they go. First up's number 1, DNJJ White. He's down to Florida, Miami, and Florida State. He's the best player in the nation according to all the recruiting services, so we'll see where he ends up going. The next one on our list is Kewan Hayes. He's a 6'2", 176-pound corner. He's an 82 overall with 95 man. He's down to Florida, Minnesota, and USC. Next up's Noah, and I can't even pronounce that. He's 6 foot, 174. He is down to Florida, Auburn, and Georgia Tech. He's an 81 overall and a plus 13, which is huge. He also possesses 92 zone coverage. Next up's Jermaine Boyette Jr., a middle linebacker, which is a position of need for us. He's down to Florida, FAU, and UCF. He's only a 70 overall. He does have 91 acceleration. We'll see how that plays out. Next up's corner Demarius Scott. He's 6 foot, 173. He's down to Florida, Nebraska, and Penn State. He's just a 66 overall with a -6 to his overall. Next up's Brendan Redwine. He's 6'4", 318 pounds. He's a guard. He's down to Florida, UCF, and USF. He's staying in the state, and he's also a JUCO. He's only a 65, but he'll be a decent backup for us. As Florida's going to kick this one away to LSU, and it looks like they're just going to take a knee. They'll start at the 25-yard line. We'll see what Nussmeier can do in the second half. He hasn't been great so far. He's been okay, but not great. Pittman opens it up, though, with the carry, and that's going to go nowhere. Kamari Wilson takes him down after just a gain of 2. So on second down, they go straight back to him as they've been on a run-heavy offense. However, that one works. He runs through somebody. He gets out to midfield before he's taken down by Ethan Pouncey. That's a big 24-yard pickup. There's nobody in the backfield next to Nussmeier as he's looking to pass. We sent a corner blitz. However, it didn't work. Malik Neighbors gained 10 on that one. Nussmeier has 2 backs in the backfield next to him on this play, and he goes nowhere. That's a 2-yard loss. He was running speed option there. So on second down, they just hand it to Wright, who also goes nowhere. Jalen Kimber was there to smack him immediately. So this is 3rd and 15 for LSU and Garrett Nussmeier, and he gets hit as he releases that one. That was an ugly throw. They're forced to punt the ball back to Florida, and Montrell Johnson ends up getting the carry, and that's a 4-yard pickup on first down. And on second down, we run play action, and Angle's going to throw it up over the top. However, that's broken up. West Weeks with a good play there. So it's now 3rd down already for Florida, and this could be a quick 3 and out, but Malik Mega makes the play, and he gets us out to about the 44-yard line, and another Gator first down today as Kyle Angle throws it, and look at that interception. That was laid out perfectly by LSU's corner there. What a great play. I will say, though, Coach KJ's not happy with that interception as he's getting after his quarterback when he comes to the sideline. I think he's getting frustrated with all these close, low-scoring games, being that he's an offensive coach. And honestly, I don't blame him. We just don't want him to get too much on these players because we all seen what can happen nowadays with the transfer portal. A lot of these guys can leave, so he needs to make sure he keeps his team together and steady. As this drive's going okay for LSU, they got a first down, and Nussmeier just picked up 1 on that one. They are under center for this play, and they go back to Pittman, who gets another carry, and that's a first down and more. He's down to probably about the 15-yard line. They run read option, and Nussmeier gets another carry, and he pushes ahead for an 8-yard pickup. Garrett Nussmeier is okay at scrambling the ball, but I think they're running him a little too much. However, on this pass, he finds Hayden Campbell, and that's going to end up being a touchdown and tying this game up at 14-all. Nussmeier finally leads LSU to another touchdown drive. Now it's up to Florida and Coach KJ to be able to answer. Kyle Angle's looking to pass this one, and he finds a wide open Malik Mega for a first down. He's out to about the 38-yard line. So that's a solid way to begin this drive as they go to Montrell Johnson on the next play, and that's a 7-yard pickup on the ground. That's pretty much what he's good for, is anywhere between 4 and 7 yards. On the next play, you can see Montrell Johnson got the carry. However, a flag was thrown by the refs, and they call clipping, so that's going to end up costing the Gators yardage. That's Harrison Wallace III who's guilty of that one, so we end up giving it to Johnson anyway on the next play. He picks up a few yards. That sets up a 3rd and 11, which is really not a great situation to be in, and we decide to just hand it off to him and for some reason give up on this drive. Honestly, I don't love the call. I just think that sometimes you got to understand that forcing a pass in that situation is going to lead to turnovers, and Kyle Angle's already had a couple today, so that's why we punted it back to LSU. We'll see if our defense can get the stop. Now it's 1st and 10, and Nussmeier's going to hand it to Pittman, and look at that. Big Desmond Watson gets in his way and slows him down. Down he goes for just a 2-yard pickup. So on second down, Nussmeier throws it, and look at Miguel Mitchell lay out and swat that down. What a great play by our secondary right there. So they're going to send Ibeda in motion over to the left, and Nussmeier's standing in the pocket looking to pass, and then he just checks it down to Pittman on 3rd and 8. So Florida does get that stop for Kyle Angle, and it makes Coach KJ's decision look pretty good as he throws it to Xavier Henderson on the first play, who steps back and gets a bunch of extra yards all the way down to the 35-yard line as Florida's already across midfield and looking to take the lead in this one as Angle's going to run a quick little screen out there to Trevor Etienne, who probably should have cut that inside. He'd have picked up more than 3, I'm sure of that. As the 3rd quarter comes to an end, this one's tied at 14-all here. We'll have to see what this Gators offense can do. Maybe they can take the lead here and we can hold on to win it as Etienne goes for 3, setting up a 3rd and 4 for Kyle Angle, who's going to pass. As you'd expect, he has a man open on the sideline. That's Emmanuel Henderson for the first down, setting him up with 1st and 10 from about the 13-yard line. And then Kyle Angle ends up taking a sack. That's a big 9-yard loss right there. So it's 2nd and 19 for Kyle Angle, and he's going to hand it to Etienne, who has a crease up the middle, and he's going to get it down to about the 8-yard line as it's now 3rd and 8 for the Gators, and Angle is going to run play action and take a shot to the end zone, and that works. Noah Keeter caught that in a bunch of traffic right there. That was a very lucky throw. What a play by our tight end, Noah Keeter. Touchdown Gators. They're going to take the lead in this one, 21-14. Let's see if LSU can answer. Garrett Nussmeier opens that up with a beautiful run, getting him out to about the 41-yard line. Ibita is going to go in motion over to the right, and Nussmeier looking to pass this one, stands in the pocket. pocket, and he finds Weeks underneath. That's going to end up being a 6-yard pickup, and that was actually who went in motion on that play, as they go to Pittman on 2nd down, and he ends up getting him a fresh set of downs on a 6-yard pickup. They're moving well on this one, as Nussmeier's going to throw it, and luckily he threw it behind his intended target on that play. So on 2nd down, they still run read option, and I don't know why he slid there. He had grass in front of him for days. That could have been a huge play, but it forces a 3rd and long now, and he chooses to throw a screen to Hilton Jr., who will not get the first down. However, it's 4th and 3, and they are gonna go for it, so it makes sense to call that play now. They hand it to Pittman, and he cannot get to the sticks. That's Powell Ryland making the play. Florida's gonna take over with a 7-point lead, and 4.5 minutes left in this game as ETN gets a carry to open it up. That's a solid 7-yard carry right there. We're happy with that. Angle looking to pass here. He gets us a first down to Xavier Henderson, who absolutely gets decked across the middle of the field there, as Angle's gonna run speed option, and he pitches it to ETN a little bit too early on that play. I think he could have picked up more, but that's a 2-yard pickup. Luckily, it's not a loss of yardage, so Angle's gonna pass it here on 2nd down, and he has a man open on the sideline. That's Harrison Wallace III, picking up 7. So on 3rd and 1, we're gonna throw it, which kind of surprised me a little bit, but Kyle Angle scrambles and slides down at the 30-yard line. That's a big first down for the Gators. You can see the LSU mascots upset there as Angle throws. That's a Manuel Henderson, who could have had a big first down there. We are still passing it. I think we should be running the ball right now, and Kyle Angle ends up taking a sack. Luckily, it didn't cost us any yardage, so it's now 3rd and 10, and we have to pass here. And he has a man open. He finds Noah Keeter down the seam. That's a 26-yard pickup, and that's going to set us up with a 1st and goal from about the 3-yard line, and we can start draining the clock and forcing LSU's timeouts, as ETN gets us down to the 1-yard line. So on 2nd and goal, we're going to throw. I don't love this call, but Angle stands in the pocket, and Harrison Wallace III is wide open for a touchdown. That's it for this one. You can tell now it's over. Florida takes a 28-14 lead. LSU's living on a hope and a prayer now. Let's see how this one finishes out, as Nussmeier hits Landon Ibita on the sideline for a good little pickup. However, he needs an explosive play if they want to get back in this one, and he throws it out there to Malik Neighbors, who gets a first down. Well, they're actually going to call it 2nd and inches, but they need more yardage than that. Nussmeier's doing well, though, moving them quick, as Hilton Jr. makes a reception and gets that first down, so they can hurry to the line of scrimmage and not use any time. And then he throws it down the field, and that's broken up. They were trying to hit Ibita, and luckily we made a play on that one. Nussmeier on 2nd down, gonna pass it, and he goes deep again, and this time he cannot fit it in there. Thankfully, he had a little bit of space, but his man steps out of bounds, so it's 3rd and 10, and Garrett Nussmeier's looking to pass this one. He breaks the sack and checks it down to Campbell, who actually has a little bit of space ahead of him. He's down to the 20, the 10, and they get him down at the 8-yard line. That's the big play LSU was looking for. Nussmeier gonna pass it on 1st and goal. He finds Pittman, who is stiff-arming a guy, and he cannot get into the end zone, thankfully. However, on 2nd and goal, Nussmeier's still gonna throw it, and he goes to the end zone, and that is Levi King, a freshman tight end, getting into the end zone. This is 21-28 now. Now it all comes down to this onside kick that is up, and it goes out of bounds. Florida's gonna get the ball. This will drain the clock out here. Florida will end up winning it. They have to run a play, and then they can take a knee as ETN gets that last timeout used, and this will be a wrap. Florida wins this one over LSU. This was a pretty tough game in this rainstorm, and you know, we're forced to use our backup quarterback in Kyle Angle, and he did okay. He had a couple interceptions. Overall, though, he was pretty good to use. I was comfortable with him. I'm glad we got this win. I would have liked it a little bit more if we could have run the ball better, but we did well enough through the air with 282 yards and 3 touchdowns from Angle to be able to win this one. If Angle wasn't a senior, there's a chance there might be a quarterback controversy, because he did hit 67% of his passes, and he played really well. And you know, he couldn't run it a lot, but on the ground he did enough to get us some first downs when we needed it. Through the air, though, Xavier Henderson caught 6 for 106. He didn't get into the end zone, but that's a great day. We did have 2 touchdown receptions from Harrison Wallace III, who's our star receiver, and then we had 10 tackles from Mitchell. That's great play from our safety right there. You gotta appreciate that. You'd really like to see our safety not have 10 tackles, but not every one of them was made down the field. He did have 2 TFLs, and he had a lot of stops in the run game that he came down for. Garrett Nussmeier for LSU was really good, though. He went 23 of 29 for 202 yards, 2 touchdowns and no interceptions. He also added 23 on the ground, and that was a 79% completion percentage, which is something you like to see out of your quarterback. I mean, that's top end. That's what Joe Burrow pretty much did his entire senior season at LSU, which is why that season was so freaking nuts. I mean, that was a good day from Nussmeier. He just didn't push the ball down the field enough early on to be able to get the win here today. They gave us a hard time, I gotta say. However, we were able to avoid Harold Perkins for the most part, their star defensive lineman. He did get a sack on us, and 2 TFLs, but I really think that's a man that can wreck heck of game. I wish he'd have come to Florida since I'm a Gators fan, but he didn't, and you still got to give the man his credit. He's fantastic. Now taking a look at the Heisman standings, it's Hunter Dekkers of Iowa State at the top. In real life, his career is probably over due to this gambling thing that he just got caught up in. At number 2 is Will Rogers, 3 is Christian Villuex, 4 is Lou Nichols of Central Michigan, and then 5 is Connor Wegman. And now we're going to take a look at your top 25, and Penn State's still at the top, and they're undefeated 5-0. And then you follow them up with Ohio State, Miami, Texas A&M, and Alabama. The Big Ten and the SEC are represented well at the top of this one. And Georgia just dropped to number 10 with their loss to number 5 Alabama. That's a pretty steep drop, however, they did lose by 17 points, so it makes a little bit of sense. I'm going to take a second, though, just to talk about this conference realignment that's happened as well. It's crazy to think that the Pac-12 is about to be dead. I don't see how they can survive the loss of Oregon, Washington, Arizona State, Arizona, Colorado, and Utah. I mean, there's just no way they can survive it, I don't think. It's crazy what realignment's done. Now, I will say I do kind of like the Big 12, but I'll save that for another day. Our next game is against Auburn. I just want to say thank you for watching. This is LDJ11. Have a great day. Please like and subscribe. I'm out.
And sometimes you just gotta believe there's something that'll give you relief. There's something that'll have what you need, what you need. We're broken, it's tragic, we're not all elastic, but maybe there's magic. Believe you could have it.